Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you a brief update. We're continuing on the work with the 1950 Ford F47 half-ton pickup truck. For our friends in the US, this is the equivalent truck of what you call the F1 pickup truck. In a previous video, we shared with you all the different components that are involved that make up the front grille and front grille pieces. Since then, we've done quite a bit of body work and smoothing and sanding to detail everything and to get it ready for final paint. And now we went ahead and done that. So you can see the whole grille assembly is all finished. This whole front face is now finished correctly. And this is actually the same as the body color to the truck. And then we have this other piece which is part of, and it gets assembled to the top here. And when this piece is on, the marker lights or signal lights bolt in between this grille and this upper piece. So that's why this is separate. A couple of important things to point out. When this truck was at the other shop, they had painted everything black, and I'm not sure what the product was, but we had to strip all the product off because it was reacting to our primers. So we basically started these from bare metal, and then we did a two-part epoxy. And what we noticed with the other garage and most places that work on things like the grills is they don't spend enough time with the detail work of the parts you don't see. So rather than boring you with the whole grill and the back, I can just condense it down to give you an example. So this is that top bar that is part of the grill, and then we have these chrome pieces. You can see we have them ready to get cleaned up. So this is the way we labeled them and had them ready after disassembly. So now we'll be polishing all of these, and we've got new hardware coming, and then we'll install, once they're polished, the chrome strip upgrade will be installed on all of these. But something that's important that's often overlooked is the part you don't see and having it protected. So the back of every section of this grill was almost all bare metal and a lot of rust. So what we did is we cleaned up the back of everything. So all sides, 360 degrees, were all cleaned. They were all epoxied, they were all primed, and they're all painted correctly. So this is something that's really important. A lot of guys will just focus on the part that you see and any section that you don't see. So behind the headlights, behind the trim, behind a fender, they often will hold a part up and say, we don't need to paint that section or worry about that because no one's ever going to see it. Well, part of a correct restoration is to make sure that you apply paint and rust fighting product, if you will, to all panels, because over time, as we all know, if we leave it all rusted and exposed in the back, it's just a matter of time before that comes through and starts bubbling up and rusting on the outside. So the back sides, in my opinion, is just as important as the outside. So it's just something boring to kind of point out. So it's going quite well with this Ford, because now that we have this front section, we've also painted a couple of dash components. We have the glove box door, because we've been doing quite a bit of work on the cab itself. We have the sound insulation package. And we have the wiring harness that just arrived. So there's a couple of other components that needed to be painted. So we have this ashtray door lid and the glove box door, because both of those components will finish everything that's paintable for the cab and the dash assembly. So now that we have the grille done, we'll start the reassembly of the trim after it's polished. So we'll try to get as much of the grille ready for the truck, and then once we get that part done, we're hoping the engine will be coming back soon. It's getting totally rebuilt, so once that comes back from the engine shop, then we'll be painting the engine and all of its components. We'll have the transmission ready, because what we'd like to do, the next step, is essentially reinstall the drive line. So we'll have the engine and transmission placed back in the frame. Once the engine is placed in there, then we can assemble the front rad support, the inner and outer fenders, and the front grille assembly. So as we continue with this build on the 1950 Ford, we'll share with you some more updates. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.